Awesome. Okay, so these are our shirts, and the importance of the shirts is so that people can identify who is, so first of all, that I can identify who is staff, so who's supposed to be there and who is not. And then also important for the end when we give the invitation, so that if they have any questions or they do want to accept Christ, that they can find us easily. And so here's kind of the schedule of the event. We're going to start with, for 30 minutes, we're just going to do kind of an icebreaker. There's going to be a pie eating contest, which is something that a lot of kids are really excited about. And then just a bunch of funny games. And then afterwards, we're going to have lunch provided, again, by Chick-fil-A, which is fantastic. Then we're going to have worship. And after worship, our speaker's going to come up. Then we're going to do 2 songs afterwards and then kind of dismiss. And the schedule is very loose and it's not super packed, because the whole point of this is to have kids build relationships with each other. And they can't do that if they're constantly if we're constantly transitioning from one thing to the next. And so it leaves a lot of room for students to kind of start conversations and meet each other. And so the outcome is what we're predicting of this event is hopefully there will be people that accept Christ, which in Isaiah 55 it says, whenever the word goes out, it does not come back void. And so we are hoping that if people don't accept Christ, that seeds are just planted or watered. And we also hope that students sign up for the 100-day challenge, which is something that Coach Goff actually inspired me to do, which is read the Bible. And she did it in 90 days, which is incredible. But we're going to go ahead and go with 100, just to give those kids the 10-day wiggle room. And this is something that we don't expect a lot of students to sign up, but we definitely want to give them that opportunity, and so that people can keep them accountable. And then we also hope that people sign up for the Remind 101, which is how we're going to communicate when and where the Bible studies are going to be hosted this summer. And we already have different leaders offer up their homes. And so once we get closer to the event, we're going to start organizing a schedule for the rest of the summer on how or on what house it's going to be at and what day. And another thing is that we really hope that other towns are encouraged by this. Currently we have student leaders from my church from Allen, Plano West, and Plano East that are coming because they heard me talk about it at church, because that's all I talk about, and they want to do the same thing because they were inspired by it. And then ultimately we hope that students create relationships that will last the rest of their high school years and hopefully beyond, and that students were encouraged just like we were at the beginning. And so an overview of this year, the biggest thing that I learned is that students can make a difference despite their age. And someone that I really saw this in was Abby Wright. And she was a timid little freshman when I met her at the beginning of the year. And when I kind of told her about the event, and she came to one meeting and just jumped aboard. And she was always willing to do more, and she always asked me if she could do more. And without her, this event would not have gone as smoothly as it did, and we would not have had the donations or just anything without her. And she really, as a freshman, kind of led the rest of the leaders, and that was so encouraging to see. And she is the girl that's going to Reedy next year and going to start a Bible study there, and I'm so excited to see her and her sister do that and kind of see what the Lord does with them. And then I also learned why the Lord commands us to fix home before going to the ends of the earth. Because if I had gone into this year just focusing on Africa, I would not have the 230 students that I have behind me as I do now. And the same is said with the disciples. If they had just gone to the ends of the earth and not build disciples in their hometown, we might not even have the gospel today. And so I learned why the Lord commands us to do that in Acts 1:8. So even though I do have a passion and a desire for Africa, I also need to have a passion for my hometown. And I also gained wisdom from both my mentors, and I want to take this time to thank them both. Eunice, I really want to thank you for patiently walking me through 1 Samuel and just blessing me with your wisdom. I've enjoyed every part of that and every day that we spent together, and it's been incredible, and I'm excited to see what the Lord's going to do with your life, whether you stay in the States or not. But just know that I'm really grateful for you. And then Miss Benjamin as well, I want to thank you for giving me brilliant advice and for always encouraging me with your stories and pictures from Africa. I treasure everything that you give to me, whether it's just a picture of the little girl that we sponsor or a pamphlet saying what the Lord has done in Family Legacy this year. And I've learned so much from you as well, and hopefully by the end of the school year, if you're successful in convincing my mom, I will be able to go to Zambia with you. And I've had I have had so many blessed opportunities this year with ISM, and I am grateful for every one of them, and I'm excited. It was incredible to see look back and look what the Lord has done on this year, and I'm excited to see what He's going to do next year in ISM. Thank you for your time and questions. How long was it?
36-ish.
Okay, good.